I'm sorry I let you get attacked by a werewolf and then into the world.
What's up, guys? Old Head Mike here, Metalcore Mommy Montana, coming to talk about the new Bill and Ted movie, Face the Music. Saw it last night. We watched the first two the night before. She hadn't seen either of them, so fresh watch for her. We just marathoned them all, and then the new one last night. So I guess talking about the first ones a little bit. So the first one was I believe our favorites. I like that one more because it was more of like a, it's kind of a throwback to the old school adventure where, I can't remember the name of the show, but there's like the dog and the kid, and they like go on a time machine, and he takes them and like teaches them about like Einstein and all kinds of stuff like that. It was like a history lesson, it was like kind of semi-educational but funny as shit at the same time. So I really like that aspect of the first one. The second one kind of a little off the rails. They just went nuts with it. They went to hell. There was robots and just all kinds of shit. It wasn't just time travel anymore. Actually, I don't think there was time travel at all, really.
It wasn't really seen. They time traveled to defeat them.
From the future, but they didn't go back or anything like that. So it's like a different aspect. But that's also kind of cool because that means they didn't just remake the second. They didn't just remake the first one for the second one. So that was really cool. And there was a lot of kind of scary stuff in it too, like the hell.
We were talking about it. Sorry, I just thought of this. But when we were watching the second one, the visuals from it reminded us. He said Beetlejuice, but they're super trippy, when they're in hell, the hell visuals and the different rooms they're going into and stuff. Super, super trippy. Yeah, like Beetlejuice and what's some other ones that are like that? I can't think of it right now. Mostly just Beetlejuice, what I can think of right now. The visual.
The set design and stuff. And so the one last night, I felt was cool because it was like a mixture. It was halfway in between the other one. There was we don't want to give away too many spoilers, even though there's not a lot of stuff to spoil, really. Aside, everything you see in the trailer is really what happens. It's about the moment finally comes when they're supposed to play the song that unites the world, and that's it. But except now, it's been 30 years since the previous movie, and they haven't found the song yet.
They're not good.
Yeah,
either. They're not very good.
They still suck at playing music, and they're still just trying to find their vibe, and
the band broke up too.
Yeah, they're just having lots of trouble. And the reason I like this movie a lot is because it was, like I said, it was a mix between the first one and the second one. So you get this kind of subplot of their daughters going back in time to find musicians to help them create the song. So you get the whole history lesson type vibe that you get from the first movie, where they go back in time, find different musicians.
Not as in depth though.
Yeah.
It's more casual. It's literally them just being "You want to be in my band?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go."
Hey, here's this guy from 1970. But you get that part, and then you also get the off the rails kind of stuff from the second one. There's still robots. They go to hell again.
The hell's a lot more in detail now too. You don't really get to see it though. I wish they would have
explored more.
Yeah.
They're only in hell for maybe
a scene.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
But you get Death is back. William Sadler's back. Also Ted's dad, the cop, the original actor from the first movies, is back, playing the same role.
Is the stepmom or whatever?
I don't know.
Is she the same actor?
I didn't look at it. Let me see. Hold on.
Nice. So basically,
yeah,
all the
Missy-
main characters.
Yeah, Missy's back. You know, the one that dates everybody's dads. And
she's not on dads anymore, though.
Yeah.
She's moved past that.
We won't tell you who, but yes,
no dad.
she's still around and still in the family. So the dad's back. You know, sadly, of course, Rufus is not back because he passed away in real life. Rest in peace, George Carlin. Yeah, they do. They do have like a hologram of him talking, so you get a little cameo there. So thank you for that, guys. And then you get Louise from
Bob's Burgers.
from Bob's Burgers.
She's been in a lot lately. I really like. I don't know. I'm becoming like I'm liking her as an actress.
She plays Rufus's daughter. So pretty much everyone has a daughter in this movie, which is cool. Because it's kind of like a new generation almost, but it's still based around Bill and Ted. But I'd say overall it was still it really felt like it carried on the legacy of the original two.
I mean, just from me watching, because I mean, he grew up watching it, but I didn't. Like, it was my first time seeing it. They, like, even in this new one, they touch base on the last, like, movies, like, a lot. Like, what I was telling you about the daughter thing, like, the last part of the second movie, they bring on sons to the stage, and he was wondering why they, like, ended up being daughters, but, like, he has a conversation with his dad.
They mention it, and he's like, you remember when you used to call him Little Bill and Little Ted? So like they make a bunch of little connections. It's I recommend if you haven't seen the first ones in a while, or you just haven't at all, definitely go watch those first. It'll help just tie in everything. And
it's not necessary, but
it's not super necessary.
Helps.
Yeah. Well, I guess you wouldn't know who Rufus is really the main. You know, they would see Rufus and you'd be like, "Who is that?" But But other than that, it's still watchable for anybody, and it's a lot more family friendly, I would say, than the first two. I'd say the first one was still pretty family friendly. The second one, they went a little, you know, like I said, scary images. They used some slurs from the '90s. It happens.
Oh yeah, they didn't use them in the third one.
Yeah.
Progress!
You would imagine that they would not. They would know better than that. I'd say, oddly enough, Keanu Reeves looks the oldest here. He looks the most aged. It was weird. I think it's maybe just because we're used to bearded Keanu Reeves.
Is that it? Because I was wondering,
he's like fully shaved,
and
you're like,
about
he looks old as shit.
Yeah,
like,
he looked really, really old.
Like he looked kind of rough, honestly. But I think it's
love you still.
I think it's just the beard. Like he's fully shaved. Or Alex Winters looks great as Bill. You know, he looks like Bill, just 20 years older. You know, he looks great. William Sadler looks great as Death, even though he's older than most of the people. Yeah, so everyone did great.
We didn't touch base on the robot.
There's a robot who we don't want to tell you his involvement yet because it's still technically a spoiler. But there's a robot who is doing some things, and he
Dennis McCoy.
Dennis, yeah. So there's a robot named Dennis. He's comic relief near the end of the movie. He's kind of serious at first. He did great. What?
I guess you said kinda. I don't know. Throughout the whole movie, he's kind of just funny.
Yeah, he makes funny lines, but then like he becomes like friendly funny later. Played by I don't know the actor's name, but it's the guy who played Victor Zsasz on Gotham. If you've seen Gotham,
Anthony Carrigan.
Yeah, he does a great job. Other than that, yeah, it ties up the whole series. I wouldn't mind seeing some follow-up films with the daughters. You know, I
love Mary
as a longtime fan. I would not mind a new series starting with the daughters. So that'd be pretty cool. But what would you rate it?
8.
8. Okay. And before I forgot, I thought it was cool, a little nod to the old ones. They have the visual effects looked really 90s. Like the lightning and all the the lights
for sure.
looked like they were like 90s effects, like real flashy, and it was I really liked that. It looked a lot like the 90s stuff, so that was a cool throwback.
And they used the original like intro and stuff, the Orion pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah, they did the whole intro in the beginning to start the movie from the production company. That's what we're talking about. I'd say probably about an 8 too. I wish there was like some touching moments with the daughters. I wish they would have like made it a little more like I like my emotions being hit, and I think in being 2020 with Keanu Reeves being such a great actor as he is, that they could have pushed a little bit more for an emotional thing.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't like. I don't know, because, like, we got, like, different moments with the daughters, but there wasn't really a point in time where they were together, like, the dads and the daughters.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they kind of spread the whole movie out, like, really thin, you know?
Yeah,
and
they both take, like, their own journeys, and then they come together at the end.
You didn't really get, like, a whole moment, like, with them.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see that. That's really my only complaint, which isn't really a complaint, it's just something I would have liked to have seen. But other than that, it's definitely worth the price tag. It's like $20 to rent, $25 to own. So I mean, might as well just buy it. But it's still less than you would spend at a movie theater. So definitely worth it. Check it out, and give us a like and subscribe if you like what we see. Let us know if you want us to review anything else. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Don't forget we've got our
Giveaway.
we have a giveaway that ends in the next like 2 days, so you have like until Tuesday to enter it, until Monday at midnight. So I'll put the link down below for that. We also have our Lovecraft Country episode 3 tonight, so if you see this before then, make sure you check that out. And if you haven't seen Lovecraft Country,
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Go watch it. HBO Max, 100%, 10/10. So thanks. Give us a like and subscribe. Old Head Mike signing off, reminding you, never too old for this.
Someday, love will find you. Break those chains and bind you. One night will find you.